Hello, sacred beings, and thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm feeling called to speak about something that's been coming through for me actually very powerfully in the past few days and also over the past few years of my life. There's been this really deep awareness that's been growing within my own self, and this is for all the sacred women, all my feminine beings out here who are looking for more awareness about how to work with your body, work with your menstrual cycle, work with your womb space, reclaiming its sense of sovereignty and really allowing yourself to take the time of the month that you have for yourself when you're on your bleed to cultivate more presence and more awareness into what is alive in your body and what are some of the ways that you are still holding on to ancestral pain and ancestral wounding that can make itself known. So I feel like a lot of the sensations that sometimes women experience during their bleed is emotions and sensations and feelings that are rising to the surface to actually be worked with very, very consciously. And the more that we can bring conscious awareness and intention to this time of the month, then we are really tapping into our power and our potential to heal and to recover and to come back home into our womb space as a sacred sovereign portal. And really coming back into that awareness of our wombs being a sacred sovereign portal is so beautiful. And clearing the pathways for what is still there that's lingering that needs to be processed and worked with can be very confronting and challenging because sometimes the sensations or the feelings that we're moving through and sitting face to face with are not easy to hold and they can be really challenging as well. So a lot of the times women end up going and getting prescribed medications or numbing out with weed or with drinking, just like talking a lot of shit about their menstrual cycle because of the way that they're feeling and complaining about it, disconnecting from their bodies, just like staying in the head and the upper body, not really dropping down into listening to what's happening. And I can have a lot of compassion as to why that does happen because there is a lot of grief and pain and rage that could be sitting beneath the surface, and even shame and guilt and fear. And so all of these deep emotions that get stored in our wombs are highlighted during the time of the month where we're bleeding. And you can kind of feel the buildup even the week beforehand, right before you're about to go into your moon cycle. And you can start to feel certain imprints or memories come up. You can start to get triggered more easily. And as much as we are physically shedding during the time of our bleed, we're also energetically shedding. So all of the different thoughts and feelings that might have accumulated over the past month, they're starting to slowly rise up to the surface during that first week. And then not the first week, sorry, the week before the period begins. And so during the actual week of the period is where that conscious and intentional work can be done to really clear and alchemize what is there still. And it can actually be very easy and very simple. We tend to overcomplicate a lot of this work sometimes, but usually just staying grounded and present, like creating a sacred altar space for yourself where you can just drop in and breathe and feel and bring awareness to that space, the sensation, the womb, the heart, and just breathe with it and what I did yesterday, which I just found really potent, really powerful, was as you're breathing and you're coming into the sensation, you can start to sound. So using the power of your voice to hum, to sound, to sigh and exhale with a sense of release, letting your body have the experience of fully letting that out. And one of the main ways that you can do that is through the sound of your voice. You can also do it through movement. So dancing and shaking is always a sacred way of letting energy move through you, but there's something so powerful about bridging your vocal channels down with your sacrum and letting your voice be a sacred ally tool for you to let that energy that's stagnant, that's stuck, that's emotional to move through your voice. And what you might notice is going to happen is that your body might just go into its own process. So there might be more of a sense of howling or screaming or crying or needing to punch and kick. So it's really allowing your whole entire system to have this experience of moving the energy through you, letting it be a safe space for you to really feel into and drop into what is there. And coming back into this like right relationship with your primal body, because your body is so intelligent. Like your body knows how to heal and recover and find balance again. And you don't need medications to override the sensation or suppress it even further. Um, I encourage you to just really explore what is the pain about or what is the sensation and the feeling about. And sometimes you don't even need to always bring it to full awareness. Sometimes just giving your body the experience of moving it through you is enough to start to alchemize it and transmute it to create more space in your body to really take that sense of embodied knowing, like the gnosis that lives within the womb space, to start to expand. And I feel like in that way where you can use your voice and your movement, your breath, your intention is also so potent when you're able to speak directly to your womb and tell your womb what it is that you want to shed this month. And you can imagine like that as your womb is bleeding and shedding, you're also pouring into yourself like what is it that you are shedding, what is it that you are releasing. So it's like going through that death portal and letting parts of yourself that still feel ashamed or unworthy or lacking, letting all of that move through and telling your womb, I am ready to let go of all of the shame that is holding me back from living my highest, most loving timeline. I'm ready to let go of the emotional grief and pain that my ex-partner put me through, or the trauma of my sexual assault. And knowing that as you speak this, as you intend this, you create this. So just knowing that your blood is going to respond to you, that like sacred magical essence of your being will move you. So what you're speaking into in those moments, just be so clear and so mindful for what you're asking for, because I will just say that it happens. You will go through an alchemical process with whatever your statement is for that month. And I just invite you to start slow and gentle with yourself. Pick one thing at a time. Don't overload your whole system, because there can be a lot that moves through you in those moments. There can be a lot of sensation and a lot of feeling and a lot to hold and navigate, and really create the sacred space for yourself to do that, knowing that you're safe, knowing that you're fed, you're protected. So really putting that time of the month aside for yourself to actually allow this transformational process to take place. And the more clear you are, the more intentional you are, the more spacious your body feels to be able to do whatever it needs to do. And sometimes it is just having that very deep, powerful cry and letting the body do what it needs, whatever that looks like, letting that, welcoming that to unfold in a way that is liberating to your spirit so that you can actually take up more space in the world around you and in your body. You're allowing yourself to expand and take up space because so much of what we've been taught as the feminine is to suppress ourselves and stay small, be quiet, be a little bit more polite and not speak up for ourselves in certain moments. So just like as you do this work, you're touching on some really core parts of yourself where you might have been suppressed. You might touch on the anger of feeling like you need to be small and not feeling like you're enough, feeling like you're lacking in some ways. So there's so much here, like literally so much here of what ends up getting like suppressed and contained in our womb space. And I feel like it's just really important to know that you are welcomed here as you are. It's your birthright to be on this planet as a sacred, powerful, beautiful, wise, divine woman. And anyone or anything that is trying to convince you of otherwise is psychic interference. And there needs to be very clear energetic boundaries in place around that because you are meant to rise into your fullest embodiment and to allow yourself to take up space, to allow yourself to fully evolve and become the fullest, most magnetic expression of yourself. And one of the ways of doing this is by fully confronting what is blocking you from your lower body. And this can also drop you down into the root chakra, the sacral chakra, going up from the solar plexus to the heart and the throat. Like you're really working with this powerful portal, all the channels of energy that are blocking your soul from fully landing into this body, from fully claiming yourself as a sovereign, powerful being. You will touch on these layers within yourself, and some of them can be ancestral, some of them can be collective or personal. But I feel like as you drop into this space, I also just invite you to be really clear with your guides of unconditional love, your ancestors that are healthy, your higher self, God, source, the great goddess, mother, father, creator, whatever you want to call it, Pachamama, Mother Earth, Gaia, calling in and resourcing yourself from the unseen world, knowing that you are so protected as you do this, and creating that sacred energetic bubble around yourself where you are anchoring yourself in, not just into your physical body, but you're also creating that sacred dimensional sphere of support around you so that you can claim your space on this planet with your allies by your side and that you're not walking this path alone. You can choose with your free will and every single moment of time to claim that space for yourself and to take up more space, to be more expansive, more expressive, more whole, more spiritually anchored. And as you do this, you're just going to keep evolving and evolving and evolving. And it's a sacred process. It'll take you places that are beyond just the physical world, beyond what we've been taught about what it means to be a woman. And this is where the reclamation happens, is when we start to remember and to truly remember who we are, who we've always been. And from this place is where we weave and we create a new way of being. Because if we're not able to be anchored and centered in our bodies, and anchored and centered in our hearts and our wombs and our deepest connection to spirit within us, then we are not even touching the surface of ourselves as sacred creators. And we're not even touching the surface of what we're able to fully become. And even as a human collective right now, we're like right at the fucking brink of what we're capable of. So I feel like by women doing this deep work right now, this is like the sacred, sacred, sacred work that as a woman, if there's anything I invite you to do right now at this time of the planet is to connect with your blood in the most conscious, intentional way and to clear the pathway of whatever it is that's blocking the channel of your womb and your throat being clear so that you can use your voice, you can be in your power, you can honor the instinct and the intuition that's guiding you forward. And yeah, if you need any support with this, please feel free to reach out. I'm a spiritual psychotherapist and I finished a training program in embodied intimacy and relationship coaching. I love to work with the body. That's like one of my favorite pathways into coming home into ourselves. And so I also bring in like energetic healing, light language, Reiki to really allow you to move the energetics of what's blocking you or preventing you from fully coming home into yourself. So if any of this is calling to you, this sacred reclamation work, then I am here to support you every step of the way. If this is something that you're new to, I feel it's so potent and just like something that really deserves a lot of your care and a lot of your attention and presence. So with that, I'll complete that for now. I'm sending you much love for the rest of your day and evening whenever you tune into this. Please like, subscribe, comment, reach out, and wishing to stay connected. Much love.